Photography is a way of feeling, of touching, of loving. What you have caught on film is captured forever. It remembers little things long after you've forgotten everything. Inspired by this quote, Makmedia team came to Rochester, USA to talk with Jasna Bogdanovska about her relationship with photography.
Jasna, you have evolved yourself into these fields. You have come a long way in your career. But what was that initial step? How did you start with photography?
Initially, I was going to be a mathematician. That was my idea when I was in high school. I went to math high school in Macedonia. And then when my family and I moved to the United States, I started Monroe Community College, my class in Monroe Community College. And I wanted to try different things. And one of the things that I wanted to try was photography. So when I went into my first photography class, and when I made my first photograph, I fell in love with it. And that made all the difference. That was the moment when I decided I wanted to be a photographer. I got my associate's degree in photography and television from Monroe Community College. Then I went on and I got my bachelor's degree in advertising photography from Rochester Institute of Technology, and then I got my master's from the same place in fine arts photography. I started publicly showing my work when I was a student. At the very beginning it was group exhibitions mostly. And then when I was a second year in college, I got this, in a way, a push when I got the first prize award for this photograph that I did. So it was out of 10,000 submissions from around United States. I got the Golden Circle Award. So that kind of gave me even more of a push to go and publish my work even more. So it was published in different books back then. So I've shown in Europe and I've shown in United States in group and solo exhibitions as well. But that's part of my fine art work. I've been an advertising photographer and creative director. So my work in that area has been shown in billboards and TV ads and magazine ads around the United States and Europe as well.
What is the thematical evolution of your work?
That's a tough one because it depends on my interest at the moment. So it varies. I've dealt with issues of nostalgia and what is home, being, and having a double identity, being from Macedonia and living here at the same time. So I've been dealing with those issues. I've been dealing with issues of feminism and how women are portrayed in the media and society. So it just varies. It depends on the interest at the moment. I don't want to limit my interests, so I just go with whatever feels right at the moment. I'm a professor of photography in Monroe Community College. In addition to that, when I have time in my free time, I work as a creative director on freelance projects in the advertising world. I also am the chair of the film group in the Museum of Photography and Film at the George Eastman House. And I also write art criticism pieces on photography and film in different magazines and newspapers.
Being a professor at a college, what is your teaching philosophy and how do you transfer that knowledge into the new generations?
Well, today we're bombarded with images everywhere we look, more than ever. So I think that being visually literate is of crucial importance for everybody, not just a student of photography or film. So I want them to be visually literate critical thinkers. I want them to think about the images, what they mean, how they influence others, what they say. I want them to understand symbolism and how that affects everything. So I want them to find their own voice. I help them to channelize their own energy into their own artwork. I don't want them to copy anybody. It's not about that. Art is about saying something. The artwork that you're doing is your voice that you are using to tell something to the world. So I want them to be passionate about what they're doing, and I'm helping them find the right way to channelize their creative energy.
What type of courses do you transfer this Why?
I teach different courses. They're ranging from history of modern photography to digital photography, photographic documentation. So it depends on the semester that I'm teaching. I also teach computer-generated images, which is a course where it's a combination of design, animation, website design, photography. So it's all in one, which in a way mimics where art is going today. Nothing is pure anymore in my art or anybody else's art. It's very hard to find somebody that is just going with one medium and stays with one medium throughout the whole artistic career. The idea is the most important thing. So where the idea will lead me, I'll go. I work with photography, I work with film, video, installation work. I've done installation work, I've done sculpture. So it just depends on where the idea wants to go and what is the best medium to use for that idea. I want to explore different venues. I don't want to be limited with my ideas, or I don't want to limit my ideas with the medium that I work with, just the one medium that I work with. So it goes in different directions. I'm interested in art that is not finished. I don't like art that is like a finished sentence where the viewer cannot go in and add something else to it. I think art is about a dialogue between me as an artist and you as a viewer. So whichever medium works the best for that, I'll go with that. As for inspiration, inspiration can go from anywhere. I've been inspired by photographs, I've been inspired by books, I've been inspired by just sitting in a, having lunch, or at night going to bed. And suddenly when you're in that not even dreamland yet, I get the most ideas usually. I have this little notebook next to my bed that I'm drawing my sketches in. So you never know where they'll come from, and that's the exciting thing about it. It's just, you never know. I mean, it's a mystery.
Right, do you collaborate with other artists?
Yeah, I've collaborated before. Again, it all depends on the idea and how the idea will evolve. The most recent collaboration was with Bogdanovski, a musician from Toronto. We collaborated on a project where I was doing the video and the animation and the photography, and he was doing the music. But what was interesting in this project was that we were doing our independent work. So I was doing my own thing, and he was doing his own. It was interesting to see how the two intersected and where they intersected when we put them together. Also, I just recently met a musician who is combining music and math, and for me that's fascinating. I love when I see artists that are combining things that you usually don't think that you can combine. So I want to push the boundaries of art. I'm interested in that, why this is art and why that's not art, and how much we can push and make art and something that we can call art.
Кои се вашите наредни планови?
Нормално да продолжам со мојата академска работа со нови студенти, нова генерација на студенти. И развивам истата идеја што ја имав од самостојната изложба што ми заврши Limited Infinity. Меѓутоа овој пат нема да биде само фотографија, него ќе продолжи во експериментално видео. И после треба да работам на поканите што ги имам за изложби во Торонто, Њу Йорк, Франција и во Македонија.
Го завршуваме интервјуто со Јасна, со единствена желба да продолжи понатаму успешно да го презентира својот идентитет.